Hello and welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. I'm Mark McLemore. The latest production from Something Something Theater is inspired by the true story of a woman who lived in Santa Fe in the mid-1800s. She ran a gambling parlor and built an independent life for herself and her granddaughters. But complications like love, death, and the American Army begin to make life difficult. Here to represent Something Something Theater is director Alida Holguín Gunn. Alida, thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So how much of this play would you say is based on realism and how much is magic?
Oh, goodness. Well, as you were saying, the play is based on this woman who did really live. She had a life. And yet really, she's just the inspiration for the play. I think the playwright, Kelly, wanted to tell a story for modern audiences about things that moved her in the story of this woman. So it's a completely imagined play. And in that imagined reality, there's this whole other aspect of the death cart driver coming to take La Tules away from her life, from her grandchildren, from her friends, from her family, and from the life that she's created.
And this is a character that sounds like it's not entirely a flesh and blood person.
No, Doña Sebastiana, the death cart driver, is this traveler through time. She's kind of this amalgamation of like a Chola Chicana kind of person. And she goes wherever she wants, she sees whoever she wants, and she comes to tell you and help you have a good death, she says.
Well, what was one of your reactions when you first read this play?
It's not very often that I read a play and then I fall in love with it right away. I think for me, as soon as I read it and I start seeing pictures of what I think it should look like on stage, then I know that I'm already invested. I think also the complex and yet comical stories within the play. I think Latinos, like many other cultures, are really good at laughing at ourselves. And that's really where the dark humor comes in this play, because we do laugh at death quite a bit in all of its complexities. It's a way of processing all the hardships of life.
Well, what was one of the biggest challenges that you faced in mounting this production?
One of the biggest challenges is that we're taking on a period piece. The play is set in 1846, right at the beginning of the Mexican-American War, and costuming a play that is period, finding corsets for all of the women, is really a challenge. I have to thank Arizona Theater Company for helping us out a little bit in those regards.
Well, when you're dealing with a cast that has a matriarch figure and her granddaughters and this adversary, this sort of mysterious supernatural adversary, do you see that kind of chemistry carrying on with your cast when they're off stage as well?
Absolutely. In fact, that's what I look for when I'm just in the casting room, when I have all these actors here reading these different parts. I'm looking at how well they interact with each other. And they're taking a leap of faith, and I'm taking a leap of faith as to how this will go in the end. And it's been really a wonderful experience for me. I hope that they're also enjoying it. But I love watching them together. I love them getting to know each other better. I'm watching the more interaction that is happening outside is showing itself on stage. The more they get to know each other here, they're bringing those relationships with them.
Well, quickly, Something Something Theater is one of the newer companies in Tucson. What's something you'd like our viewers to know about Something Something Theater?
That Joan's heart is in this amazingly beautiful place, and that doing new work is so important to her. We need the voices of new writers in our community and beyond, and the importance of producing work of women is a really beautiful thing that I can get behind.
And you were speaking of Joan O'Dwyer, one of the theater's founders. My guest was Alida Holguín Gunn, the director of The Hall of Final Ruin, written by Kelly McBurnette Andronicos. Something Something Theater presents the play through March 10th at the Temple of Music and Arts Cabaret Theater. That's at 330 South Scott Avenue. Thank you for watching Spotlight on the Arts.